Hello, welcome to the Level 1 Test D paper. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for doing this exam. It is not easy at all. It's quite difficult actually, so we're going to have a look at it. The first section, questions 1 through 5. Okay, so first of all, remember this is Test D, the Test D exam. And the first questions are very difficult. They're based on book reviews, okay? And what a book review is, as you might know, is when you read a book and after you finish the book, they write a review giving it stars 1 through 4, how good is the book, and explaining a little bit why you gave it that rating. So what we're looking at now is these book reviews, okay? And as you can see, there are 4 book reviews on your paper, and they're about different exams, different books, and each of them is given a review, and each of them is also given a rating here. Okay. The first question says, the review rates the Brown Creek as what? Was it outstanding, very good, good, or average? The correct answer for number 1 is C, good. Why is it good? Well, it's quite clear here. You have 3 stars for the Brown Creek, and 3 stars means good. That one's an easy question. They get more difficult as it goes on. The second question, number 2, which book is set in the future? Well, the question there is, it cannot be now. The story is taking place in the future. So which one is it? Well, the best answer is actually Dutch Pictures. Why is it Dutch Pictures? Because you'll see here, it says here, a film director in Amsterdam 100 years from now. So if the story is happening 100 years from now, we can assume that the year is 2121. So now it's 2021, but in 100 years it will be 2121. So this is the future. So definitely the answer for number 2 is going to be C, Dutch Pictures. So starts off with C, C. Number 3, from the information in the new review, Dying Angel is best described as what? A love story, a teenage fiction, science fiction, or a murder mystery? And the best answer for that is B, teenage fiction. Now, in the text, it says this for Dying Angel. The last sentence says, a bland, which means boring, and corny story for adolescents. Now, if you don't know the word adolescence, spelled this way, adolescence, okay. And an adolescent is basically a teenager. It is a young adult. So that takes a little bit of vocabulary. That's not an easy word, and we don't use it very often, so keep an eye out for these sorts of words. Number 4, the reviewer thinks that Dutch Pictures is A, tiresome, B, tedious, C, boring, or D, unconvincing. The difficult thing about this one is that the writer uses these words for all of them. He uses all of these adjectives to describe this picture, but he uses them for different things. Okay, I'm going to explain that. So for number 4, we have words like tiresome. What does tiresome mean? Tiresome means boring, makes you tired because it's so boring. Tedious, again, boring, another meaning for boring. Tedious is boring. Or the word boring, and then you have here unconvincing. Okay, so tiresome, tedious, boring, and unconvincing are all used in the review. So I'm having a coffee now. I don't know if I can have coffee in class, but teaching from home is so much fun. Actually, not a bad coffee. I think there might be caffeine in that coffee. I don't think it was supposed to be, but it's really nice. Okay, so moving on to these ones. Tiresome, tedious, boring, and unconvincing. They're all used in the review, and so what's difficult about that is what are they used? The question says, from the information, which book, it says, reviewer thinks Duck's Pictures is. So the film has to be this metaphor. First, the first adjective, tiresome, he says in the review, he says, he specializes in tiresome heroes who clash with tedious villains in boring battles. So tiresome basically describes what? It describes the villains. The villains are the bad guys. Okay. And then he says boring battles. Well, the battles are the boring things. And then he says, it says something about tedious as well. Yes, tedious villains. The villains are tedious. Sorry about that. Tiresome are the heroes. So basically, the good guys are boring. The bad guys are boring. And the battles are boring. But the final sentence says, is completely unconvincing. Now, it means the film. So the best answer for that one is going to be unconvincing, which is answer D. Okay. Number 5, we have number 5 here. From the information in the reviews, which book is likely to appeal to most people? The correct answer is A, The Brown Creek. Now, why does the Brown Creek, why do I say that? It's because in the Brown Creek, we have this final sentence says, it says, an excellent book for all readers of all ages. So if you're a reader of all ages, teenager, child, whatever, this book is likely to appeal to you. That means this book is good for you. Some of the other books are not good for people of all ages. So that's the best answer then, A. Welcome back. The next section here is questions 6 through 10. It's about Portsmouth Harbor. Okay. Now, what about Portsmouth Harbor? What can we do about that? Well, this is very difficult. Again, very tricky. And they're trying to trick you all of the time. So be very prepared for that. The first thing that you need to know is, with this one, is which words are used to describe Portsmouth Harbor in paragraph 1? Warm, beautiful, leading, world class, C, unhurried and excellent, or D, fresh and friendly. Best answer for number 6 is going to be, yes, you guessed it, leading and world class. Why not the other ones? Well, warm and beautiful, this is the welcome you're going to get. You're going to get, it says, a warm and friendly welcome. So a warm welcome is with welcome, okay? So with the word warm is used to describe the welcome you will get, not the harbor itself. Beautiful, well, beautiful is not exactly used in the first paragraph. What's beautiful? It says a beautiful south coast. So the south coast is described as beautiful. Then we have other words. Leading and world class. Does it ever say that? It says a warm and friendly welcome waits at Portsmouth Harbor, the UK's leading waterfront destinations. Okay, so and then later it says discovered this world-class attraction. So world-class and also UK's leading, both of these talk about that. The other ones, unhurried, talks about the roads. Excellent talks about the roads. Unhurried talks about the miles. Fresh talks about the air. And friendly, again, is the welcome. So you have to be very careful and read it carefully. In number 7, paragraph 2, the writer's main suggestion is that Gun Wharf Quays is what? And the best answer for number 7 is, it is not A, sorry. It is D. Okay. The best answer is D. It is the best retail and leisure complex in Britain. This one is quite tricky because the first one says, in an exciting location overlooking the harbor. That's true, it is in an exciting location. But the location is not the main suggestion. The location is part of the suggestion. The main suggestion is that it is the best retail and leisure complex in Britain. And that is a big statement. It says here in paragraph 2, Yes. Recently opened Gunwharf Quays is Britain's best waterfront and shopping and leisure complex. So that's a big statement. I mean, there's so many shopping complexes in Britain. To say it's the best one is very strong. So that is the main suggestion. Next one, moving on. Number 8, the overall purpose of paragraph 3 is what? And the answer is to persuade tourists to visit the attractions in Portsmouth Dock. So that, anybody have any questions for that one? That is the main purpose, is to get tourists to come. And number 9, the paragraph 3 could be split into 2. The best place to start the new paragraph should be C. Okay. That is, everyone says South Sea. That was a difficult one for me as well. I was thinking maybe the answer could be B, but when I thought about it, it's better to divide the paragraph at that point because the topics are different. If you look at it carefully, paragraph 3, you will see that the first part of the paragraph here, first part of the paragraph is all about the Navy, the HMS Victory, the HMS Warrior, Navy's Heroes, Navy Museum. And then here you think, maybe I'll start it here. Another new attractions brings to life the drama of today's Royal Navy. But again, it's about the Navy. Where the other parts of it, South Sea is special. South Sea is not related to the Navy. It is a different part of the area. Okay. And finally, in number 10, in this section, what is special about sea? The best answer is it offers 4 miles of things to do on the seafront. Okay. So the other things are important, the restaurants, possibly the marina. But the main question is, what is special about South Sea? And in the sentence it says, everyone says South Sea is special with its 4 miles of seaside fun, including 2 piers, Sea Life Centre, Royal Marines and D-Day museums, and much more. So you get the idea that a lot to see there, a lot to do. You've got the Sea Life Centre, the Royal Marines, and the D-Day museums. And the marina and the impressive shops are not there. They're at Port Solent. So that is definitely the best answer. Okay. Okay, welcome back. Looking at questions 11 through 15. Okay, let's get rid of any message. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Number 11. In line 2, the word is not correct. It should be what? And the answer is, for number 11, the word should be RC. Why? Because he says, my friends and I is convinced. Well, obviously, my friends and I are the same as we. We is plural, so it should not be is, it should be are. Okay, that's a grammatical mistake. Number 12. The word probably, the correct spelling of probably is D. Okay, number 13. Which line has an extra word included in it by mistake? Did anyone catch that one? That one is very difficult, but it's C. And the answer is in line 11. So in line 11, they talk about promote to. It says, and those who seek to promote to the fantastic capabilities. So that's a wrong sentence, okay? If you promote something, a thing, then you are saying it's good. Like I promote Coca-Cola, or I promote coffee, or I promote this college. So it's followed by direct object. So there'll be no to after promote. If you do promote to, that's a different meaning, like my boss promoted me to manager. So that's not the same meaning. So the best answer is no to for promote. 14, paragraph 3 needs punctuating. The correct punctuation should be C. So for other PCs, most other systems. See, what happens is, in this question, you're finishing with the question, And in the question, you're going to finish with the question, and then you're going to start with a capital letter afterwards. So you should have a look at that if you don't understand. 15, it has been decided to add the sentence, however, the current price of £1,400 is just ridiculous. The best place would be B, at the end of paragraph 2. Okay, so if you look at that sentence and you add it at the end of paragraph 2, it would sound like this. The IFX computer with the minimum random memory of 128 megabytes would probably have sold very well, priced at £750. However, the current price of £1,400 is just ridiculous. So there's a connection between the price that they suggest, £750, and the price that it actually is, which is 1,400. Remember, however means but, and we use it to contrast two different ideas. Okay. Okay, welcome back. And finally, we're going to have questions. Not finally, we've got quite a bit more to go. Questions 16 to 20 are based on the following document. And this is for older people like me who maybe are getting ready for their bus pass, but not quite there yet. Number 16, the most suitable title for this leaflet is actually going to be 16, I think, is going to be B. 60 plus, cheaper travel for older people. Okay, now why? Because A says travel free. Well, you don't get free travel on many of these. You have to pay some money, but it's cheaper. So that A is not right. C, community transport. Well, there is some of that, but it's only part of it, you see? And the last one, money off train fares. Yes, we have something about the rail, money off train fares. But with these kind of questions, okay, what you have to ask yourself is this the answer for a part of it? Or is this the answer for all of it? That's a really important question that you have to do with reading exams. So the first one says travel free. Well, I don't think any of them are free. Maybe this one is free. No, none of them are free. So that one is definitely wrong. You're still going to have to pay, even if you're oldie. Okay, cheaper travel for older people. That's good for all of them, you see. Rail, coach, bus, and community transport, all of them. That one works for. Community transport would only work for part of it, again. And money off train fares, again, it only works for the first section here. So yeah, ask yourself that question. Is this the answer for some of it, or does it apply to all of it? And that's also very good advice when you're doing headings and things like that. 17. Someone would be eligible for a disabled person's card if they, and the best answer, do you know, is D. We're getting a DDS, means tested benefit. That means if you are on benefit, you're going to be eligible. A is wrong because it's not age related. B is wrong as well. C is wrong. C is true that you have to pay the £14, but first you must be eligible to get the card. Then eligible means like it's possible for you. Okay, you are right for it. And then you pay the £14. Okay, so the best answer is D. 18, which card costs the least? And the answer is that one is going to be the senior bus fare, which is free. So that is free travel. And that the others you have to pay some money. 19, dial a ride is only available for people who, and the best answer is this one, who are 65 and have no local bus service. That was difficult for me because it did say that you either have no local bus service or you can't use that service. So it's not the perfect answer, but it is the best answer that they give you. And 20, capital letters are used in the word dial a ride. Why? And the best answer is it is the name of a scheme. And because it's the name of the scheme for number 20, like this one, dial a ride. Because it's the name, you're going to capitalize all the words on that name. Very important in English. If something is a name, a proper name, then we use capital letters. Okay, for example, my name is Patrick. It's my name, capital P. College, small c for college, but big C for Tyne Met College. Okay, right. Moving on to the next section. I think I'll just continue with this one here. In the next section, 21 is the question, and it says, in which line did Bob make the grammatical error? And again, I think the best, it's quite clear, that answer is going to be B. Why? Because he says, here is the directions. We don't say here is the directions, because directions are plural, okay? Because directions are plural, we have to change that to here are the directions. I hope you find that interesting. Next one, number 22. Which of these phrases in paragraph 2 contain a wrongly used word? Okay, in 22, the best answer is D. Why? Because he says continue past the pub. The problem with that is this. So when you say continue, that's a verb, past the pub. Now, continue is fine, but past here, that's the verb of past. We don't want the verb of past. We want the preposition of past. And so we're going to change that one to past. P-A-S-T. They sound the same. I passed the building. That's a verb, past tense. It's past the building. It's a preposition. So they sound the same, but they're two different words. 23. Paragraph 2 could best be split into two. The best place to start would be where? And the best answer for 23 is C. The stone circle. Why is that? It's because the stone circle is a different topic than the first one. The first one is directions, okay? These are all directions here. But then here, the stone circle, there should be a break and a new paragraph there, because that one is all about this old stone circle that is 2,000 years old. Okay, next we have 24. Which word should be capitalized? And the best answer is D, Cornwall. Why? Because Cornwall, again, is the name of a place, like Newcastle. So you're going to use a capital letter. Finally, 25, the word peaceful is wrongly spelled. How should you spell it? The answer is for 25. The correct spelling is C. Peace, P-E-A-C-E, and then full with one L. Remember, when you add one L to a word, one of the L's drops off. I explained that, I think, in the last class. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for coming back. Sorry this is taking so long. Well, first of all, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the motor accident report. Okay. In the motor accident report, we are talking about insurance. So when you have a car accident, you have to fill in a report. This is pretty tricky. The first one is the best appropriate 26. Okay. 26, it says, the most appropriate subheading to give the main point of lines 9 to 11 is what? And you have to think about it. What are they talking about the most here? Is it the time of the accident, the location of the accident, the distance from the motorway, or the position of Tesco? Well, I think the most important thing is the location of the accident. Where did the accident happen? Okay. And it talks about it. They came up to the new dual carriageway. We were going to the roundabout near Tesco, which is the last roundabout on the M63 motorway. So that's telling you where the accident happened. So the best answer for 26, pretty easy question, but it's location. Now, questions get more difficult. 27, I think, is fairly easy. The word statement in line 12 begins with the capital letter Y. And the best answer is because it's a part of a section title. So what you have here is you have section titles here. Driver statement, big D, big S. Independent witness statement, again, big I, big W, big S. Why? Because these are titles of sections. And when you have a title in English, we often use a capital letter. Number 28, it says, who was driving the yellow car? This is very difficult question. You have two cars involved in this accident, but it's quite difficult. But if you look here, you will see that the vehicle's name of the person driving is Jan. Jan hit the other car. And there in the very small print says Ron Green. So Ron Green is the other person in the accident. So that answer is B. 29, it says, according to the independent witness, what happened immediately before the accident? And immediately before is the real clue, because a lot of these things did happen before the accident, but it's immediately before. So it's just before the accident. So the best answer is D. The driver of the yellow car cut in front of the rover. Okay. So let's imagine the situation here. We have a roundabout, okay? And I don't know where Tesco's is, sorry about that. But we have the roundabout, and we have the description of the accident. Okay, so I said, I had just driven onto the roundabout. There was a car on my outside. So this is Jan here. This is Jan, okay? She's driving, and she just approached the roundabout, and she said, there was a car on my outside. So we'll call that Ron, okay? So Ron's in the yellow car. I wanted to go straight, so Jan wants to go straight, but Ron, it was going round the roundabout and turning right. So basically, the yellow car was going in front of Jan, like that, and really shouldn't be in this roundabout. It shouldn't be in that lane to go there. It should be in it anyway. So what happened is Jan hits Ron in the car. It says here, I crashed into his side. So you can imagine cars driving here, this other car is coming out and going in front of her without looking. So Jan crashes into the other car. Okay, I had to draw it out actually, it was a little bit different. Alan sees the accident and writes about it. Number 30, one of the writers has used a phrase that is more informal than the rest of the language of the document. What is the phrase? And the answer is in line C, D. Alan says, she braked hard and skidded into the yellow car and smacked it right up. Now, smacked it right up is what we call informal language. This is language you use with your friends, but not language for a police report. You might say, caused extensive damage, or some kind of formal word like that. Okay? Thank you. Next, in 31 to 35, it's based on the following document. So, what do we know? Again, I'll try to explain this one as best I can. It's not easy. Okay, so let's try to. I'll try to explain it if you're okay with that. Fire officers and police are investigating an explosion that reduced a restaurant and several shops to rubble. Rubble means pieces. One identified man was taken to Jubilee Hospital in Park Street after the blast, which involved gas flammable materials, which is being treated as suspicious. Emergency services arrived at the Hina restaurant in Princess Street. So here we have the Hina restaurant. Call it Hina Rest. Okay. And this restaurant is on this street, and this street is going to be called Princess Street. Now, I actually drew a picture of this because I found it confusing myself. The restaurant, a plumber's merchant, J. Grimshaw Limited. So here we have this street. Now, I don't know where it is, but we know that next to this one is this place called J. Grimshaw. And J. Grimshaw is to do with plumbers or plumbing. I think you know plumbing is we're making toilets and water and things like that. Okay. And Cooper's Turf Accountants on the other side of the road. So if there's a big explosion here, on the other side of the road here, this side here, we're going to have Cooper's Turf. Cooper's Turf Accountants. Okay, so you got Cooper's, Hina, and there's a big explosion, and Smith's store at the corner of Princess Street and Byron Street was also badly damaged. Now there's another street here called, which is, we're going to guess over here, okay? And this area here is another street called Byron Street. Right. And it says Smith's is here. Okay. However, other buildings in Byron Street, such as the post office and the Spice Tandoori, so the post office is here, and the Spice Tandoori, Spice we'll call it, escaped severe damage. So these ones are okay, okay? But this one, where the big explosion happened in Hina, there's a big it damaged, very much damaged plumbers, and it damaged the Cooper's Turf restaurant here. So you can see that's the situation happening. One big explosion, a bit of damage to Smith's as well, but not as bad as these ones. So let's have a look. Yeah, the rest of the sentence says, the explosion closed Princess Street and Byron Street for 8 hours. Representative of the damaged properties were also called to the scene. Among them were Jane Harris of Grimshaw. So that's Jane Harris here. Okay. And then we had Samira Jublat from the post office. Okay. So Samira is working at the post office. And then we have head teacher Carol Charlton. Now we don't know where the school is. And Mary Robinson from the Turf Accountants. And Nasir Sajid of Spice Tandoori. So Nasir here, okay. Fire brigade was fabulous. I just live around the corner, but the firefighters were here before me. Okay. Which of these places is in Princess Street? Number 33. So we have done the answers for... Sorry, I just did a lot of drawing there. Hope that helps. You'll probably think I'm blowing something up, but let's have a look at that. So this is the story, written in the story. Number 31. In number 31, the question is, the document is most likely to appear in B. Should be a newspaper. It's like a local newspaper, a big event, bomb, something like that. 32. Paragraph 1, what was suspicious? And paragraph 1, the thing that was suspicious really was the bomb. The blast was suspicious. The blast is being treated as suspicious. So when something is an accident, we say it's an accident, and we say it's not being treated as suspicious. If we think it's malicious or something bad happened, not just an accident, they treat it as suspicious. That means they think something is wrong, some kind of damage. 33. Which of these places is in Princess Street? And the answer is going to be D. Cooper Turf's Accountants. Okay, so for 33, the answer is D. We know that Cooper is in Princess Street. Just draw on a map. 34. Which person from the plumber's merchant did the police call to the scene? And the answer is Jane Harris. Jane Harris works at the plumber's, and the plumber's is the same as Grimshaw. That's quite tricky to know that the Grimshaw and the plumber's are the same. You might think of them as two different shops, but they're the same. The most suitable heading for this title would be 35. So 34, the answer is D. 35, the answer is A. Explosion rips through restaurants and shops. As a headline, you want to give as much information to your reader as quickly as possible. Thank you. Okay, welcome to the very last section of this. Phone a friend. Okay, so this is a little bit dated. This test is a little bit old. Nowadays, we have many different ways to meet people, make videos with your phone, Tinder, I don't know, Match.com. These people want to, it's a romantic dating service. Okay. Number 36, which should advertisers call to advertise on Phone a Friend? And the correct answer for that one is D. 36 is D. Why? Because it says here, to advertise, to hear the latest adverts. There. So that's about advertising. No, to place your free advert. 5, 8, 2, 3, 4. So you can either hear an advert or you can place an advert. Now, to place an advert means to advertise. Okay? Number 37. In this section, how to use phone a friend, why are the sentences numbered? And the best answer for that, 37, do you know, is actually C. To show it step by step. First you do this, second you do this. So step by step is the right answer. 38. Voice box 2710 is looking for someone to A, go to the theater with. That's right. This man wants someone to go to the theater with. 39 says, from the information in the advert, which of these words best describe Mark? Now we look at Mark. He's 5'4". He's not a very tall man. Blue eyes, fit, slim, likes walking, football, jogging, and seeks fun, loving, fun female. So he likes walking, football, and jogging. This man is very physically fit. So the best word for that is not fun loving, because fun loving is the kind of woman he wants to meet. He could be fun loving, we don't know, but of what we see about him, active. He's active because he does a lot of sports. And the last question, number 40, is from the information in the adverts, which two people have the most in common? And I think the answer is definitely Mel and Sam. Why do they have so much in common? Because, well, first of all, Mel, which is the woman, okay, and Sam, which is the man, I think they will be in love. Why? Well, I'm not sure they will be in love, but they have a lot in common. Because, first of all, they are the same age. Okay, secondly, they are both non-smokers, which means they don't smoke. They don't smoke. Then we have, they say they are good looking. We don't know, but they say they are good looking. And finally, they are vegetarian. So if you're a vegetarian, that means that you don't eat meat. So that seems pretty good. And I think Mel is 35 and Sam is 34. So they are similar age and they are both tall as well. Wow. So match made in heaven. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Please let me know if you find this useful for you. Leave a comment, put a like, or send me a message. I'll be very happy. This is all new for me as well. So any questions, call me or send me a message. I will be happy to answer it. See you later.